I made this square cardigan. I originally made it for my vlog, which I'm going to be posting after because I posted my first crochet vlog and then everyone's like, I want a tutorial for this sweater. So I'm going to say the new vibe is going to be post a tutorial first and then post the vlog for it. So maybe you can like crochet the sweater while you watch the vlog, or you guys just don't get mad at me because anytime a crochet posts anything, they're like, give me the pattern right now. I'm literally gonna choke you. So instead I made a black and white version of this sweater. I have to like tuck in a few ends, but yeah, it's super cute. I made this one because I can wear it with sweatpants during the school year. Yeah, and it's nice because it's one panel, but you guys don't like it when I say one panel, but I literally don't know how else to describe it, as in like you don't have to sew all these skirts together, you don't have to sew the sleeves on or anything. It's just like one big tee. So like you'll see. I'm gonna keep saying one panel despite the hate. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this tutorial and that you can make one too with also maybe the same color combination, maybe different ones, but let's get into it. Alright, so for materials, I use yarn weight 4 and I use 5 different colors, but you can use any variation that you guys want to. And then I have a 6.5 millimeter hook, some scissors, and then optional is yarning needle, stitch marker, depending on how you crochet. To start off with color 1, I make a slip knot and then I chain 15 with color number 1. In order to switch colors with the next color, after I did 15, I'm going to make a slip knot with color number 2. So I have my chain of 15 and I leave it on my hook. And then I'm grabbing my next color and I just make a slip knot. And then we just put it on my hook and pull the slip knot through the loop on my chain. And I just like to tighten it a little bit, but that's optional because we can always tighten it later. And then you're going to do another 15. Then you're going to repeat this for 3 more colors for a total of 5 colors and a total of 75 chains because we're doing 15 per color and 5 colors. And I just keep switching, doing the slip knot, pulling it through until I have all my colors used. Now we have all our starting chains, so we're just going to be doing half double crochets in each stitch, but switching colors every 15. So in order to switch colors, I crochet my 14 regular, and then on my 15th stitch you want to leave the 3 loops on the hook. You don't want to pull through on that last part of the half double crochet. You don't want to pull it through. You just want to leave the 3 loops, only for the 15th one. So I'm on my last one, so you see I have 1, 2, 3 loops on it, and then I just pick up that yarn that we left there, and I'm going to use that and just pull it through. So I dropped my last color, tucked it in the back. I like to tuck it in the back so it's going to be in the front when we flip it around, and then I just pulled that other color through, and then you do 15 down, and you just keep switching every 15th. And I like to count to make sure I'm putting it in the right place, because sometimes I could do it too early or too late. But just go down the rest of the row, doing half double crochets in each stitches, making a clean color change each time. Now we're going to continue with the same pattern where we're just going to be doing half double crochets down the whole row and switching colors every 15th stitch. So as you can see, I'm just going down and starting and turning my work and doing 15 half double crochets with my first color. Something I do like to do is when I'm pulling my next color, I like to hook my yarn under the yarn I pull over. So like you see, I'm pulling it through. I don't only hook it in the stitch, but I hook it underneath where that yarn is pulling through, so that it's just cleaner. Honestly, I just always did this. It's a habit, so I don't even know how it looks without it. I'm sure it'll look fine, but I just like to pull under that for that extra clean look. So just do that for the rest of the rows for a total of 15 rows. And that's going to make our square, because we do 15 wide and 15 rows tall. It's not exactly a square, it's a little taller than it is wider, but it just makes it even later when we're doing the sleeves and other squares. So we've done 15 rows of half double crochet, changing the colors, and you only have to tie off the last one on the end. You cut it and then you pull it through the loop that's left on your hook, and that's going to tie a knot. And then you can just cut off the other ones without having to tie a knot or anything, because we're just going to crochet over them on the next row. And the good thing about this, even though your yarn might get knotted, it shouldn't get too knotted after 15 rows, and then you can just untangle it in between each square. So I'm just going through, cutting it, and then we're going to crochet over it when we repeat this process for the next squares. To start your new color for the new row of squares and colors, you're going to start by making a slip knot and then inserting your hook at that last corner that you ended with and pulling the slip knot through. I always chain one before my work because it just makes it easier to crochet into it. See, I said chain one and then for some reason I did two, but I went back and did one. Then the process is similar for the rest. You just go through and you half double crochet down the row, and as you can see, I'm crocheting over both of my ends and pulling it tight down the row so that I can pull it loose later, and that tucks them in nice and neat. I'm clearly struggling to crochet on camera, but you know, make do. But you can see each time I'm just pulling the ends tighter and tighter, and then later I'm going to unscrunch it. And then every 15, you're going to switch colors and continue that to create another row of squares. You can see I pulled out the end so that you can't see the previous ends, and we're just crocheting over them. So we did our first row of squares, and we're going to add 2 more rows of squares, repeating the same process. So we're going to have a total of 3 squares high for a total of 45 rows, because it's 15 per square and 3 squares high. To start the sleeves, I already did this one side, but you're only going to crochet in 30 of the stitches, only 2 of the squares, so that we leave 1 square empty where we're going to put our head. But you only want to do 14 rows because we have to do something different for the last 15th row to complete the square. But just go on each side, making only crocheting over 2 of the squares, changing colors every 15 stitches, but doing it for a total of 14 rows. When you're on your last side, the second side, do not cut the yarn unless it's going from inside to outside. You'll see what I mean in the next step, but you don't want to cut the yarn. I mean, you could, it would be fine if you did. You could just crochet over it again, but it's just easier if you don't cut off the ends once you finish the second side, once you do the 14th row of the second side. Unless, of course, your direction that you're going in is not from outside to in. Now we're going to go all the way across. I would say this is the trickiest part, but it's still not too difficult. So you see we ended on the outside side. So now we're going to be crocheting across, changing colors every 15 stitch as always. Just assume that for the rest of this pattern, you're always changing colors every 15 stitch, except for the neckline later. But you're going to half double crochet down for the next 30 stitches. And once you're done the 30, then we'll meet together. So I did my last 30th stitch, but I left the 3 on because we have to change colors every 15. But instead of just pulling the yarn through, we have to make a slip knot so that it stays together. So you make a slip knot with the next color and pull it through. I like to tie it tighter, and then you're going to chain 15, which is the start of the missing square of the middle to bring it back. Once you finish that 15th, we have to bring those colors back that we previously cut. So you're just going to grab an end, and we have to slip knot it because we can't just pull an end through, it will just fall off. So you make a slip knot and pull it through the chain. You want to insert your hook into the 15th or the first stitch of that other square, and you want to pull it through that side that connects it to everything. So you pull it through the square to attach it, and then you pull it through the chain to attach it. And then you're just going to half double crochet for the rest of the row, going all the way down. So that attached the chain so that this creates the all together, you don't have to sew it look, so that we can just crochet all the way through. And then this is going to be the last row of our square because this is our 15th row, and then we're going to start working on the back. So now we're going to change colors and start a new row of squares where we half double crochet all the way down that row, and you're gonna half double crochet in each stitch, and then when you get to the change you're gonna put a half double crochet in each of those changing colors every 15 stitches. And this is the start of the first square on the back. So you know that we did 3 squares for the front part, not including the shoulders, so we're going to need 3 squares in the back part. So you repeat just like we did for the front, the 3 squares high for a total of 45 rows, so that the front and the back are the same height. So now you can see I have a total of 3 squares in the front and back, and then plus the shoulders, leaving space in the middle for our head, which makes it all connected. Now we're going to go in the 3 middle squares. You can count just 1 out from the center, and we're going to do half double crochets down the side of the 3 middle squares. You're going to turn your work on the side, and you're just going to do 1 half double crochet per row. So you can kind of see where the lines are, and I would also count out loud to keep in check, because sometimes you can miscount, misplace. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely want to have 15 in each of those sides of the squares and a total of 45 across. And then you're switching colors every 45 stitches. Just like we would do if this was another row of inserting colors, you're just going to make a slip knot and then insert your hook into that corner, that top corner of where you want to start, and then just half double crochet all the way across. And now that you finished that first row, just half double crochet in each stitch, changing colors every 15 stitches, and repeat for a total of 15 rows per square and make it 2 squares high. So you can see here that I did 3 squares and it turned out to be way too long, as I'm going to talk about soon. So only do 2 squares high. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie or nothing. 3 squares? No, do not do 3 squares, do 2. You're gonna see in the video that I'm gonna do 3 squares, but look how long this extra square is. I'm gonna actually sew this square back. Low key, I could just take it off. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it off. I'm totally gonna do that. But totally do 2 squares. Do not do 3. I did 3. Don't do it. It's way too long. Unless you don't plan on blocking it, because it looked good when it was not blocked. But definitely block it, because look, it's flowy. You want it to be flowy. But yeah, totally do not do 3 squares. 2. Because look, this is our body still, right? And then this is 1, 2. So yeah, 2 squares. I keep saying it, but 2. That just let it be known. Let me cut it. Now you want to repeat for each sleeve so that you have 2 squares on each side. And then you're done. You should have a big plus sign and you fold it in half to make your sweater, and then you're going to sew down the sides of the sleeves and then sew down the sides of the body. Once your sweater is all put together, you're just going to start by making some ribbing for the neck. So I like to do a single crochet around the neck circle to make it a little more snug. And if you want it to be even smaller, then you could add some decreases within this. Now go around in the circle and half double crochet for 2 rows. I did 2 because I liked how it looked, but if you want your neck to be bigger, then you can always add more rows of half double crochet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this chaotic, we come work together as we go tutorial, and I hope you were able to make it and it wasn't difficult. If you have any questions at all, please do ask. I will try to answer them the best I can. I really love this pattern. It's just so cute. Like, it just squares together. Really, they are rectangles, but it's whatever. But if you enjoyed this pattern and you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. I love making patterns for you guys. I literally stay up at night and I just like imagine sweaters in my head. It's literally an obsession. So, but obsession that you reap the benefits from. Have a great rest of your day. What's it saying? Okay. It's be there or be square because you're not around. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.